Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Nancy Stanley, physical therapist, life and health coach, and I love what I'm going to be showing you tonight. I just served it up to my husband, and he was like, yep, that's a keeper. And so it's that time of year, it's fall, and we start seeing those pumpkins and butternut squash and all those things that we love. So I want to share a recipe with you. Now, I have to say from the beginning, if you want this recipe, it'll be in an email in the morning at 7 o'clock. I've already created it. It's ready to go. Hey, Alexis. So what I did, and I don't use these very much. I don't make cheesecake very much because honestly, I don't really like cheesecake, but I love pumpkin or sweet potato cheesecake. So you can see I put this in a springform pan, so I made half of the recipe earlier today so I could show it to you after it was made. Hey Ashley, hey Jeannie, thanks for joining me tonight. So I'm going to open up this springform pan and put it right over there, and you can see how, you know, it's pretty thin, but it's actually, if it was doubled, it would be twice that size, okay? But what I'm going to do, I don't ever keep a whole dessert here at the house because we don't want to eat on it that much. I'm going to split it, and I'm going to put it in this casserole dish to take to my Bible study tomorrow night. So actually it's Wednesday night, but I'll cook it tonight. I'll put it in the fridge and it'll be perfect. Hey, yeah, okay. All right, so here's what it looks like once you serve it up and put some delicious heavy whipped cream on it. It's so good. I love to break out when I have a fun dessert like this. I love to break out my grandma's china and just get fancy. Okay, so here's the rest. Here's what we're going to do with the recipe. And remember, this is half of the recipe, so you can half the recipe and just make a small cheesecake, you know, so you don't have it hanging around. Because one thing I'm going to talk about in this master class that's coming up is, you know, why, and I've even got an email. Now, the recipe called for cottage cheese, but I had ricotta, and so that's what I'm going to use, and it's basically the same. And then it's a half a cup of pumpkin. You buy pumpkin in the can. Now, let me tell you, this pumpkin that I'm using right now was $2 a can, I think, and last year it was $1. But I did find some for 97 cents, and it's just pure pumpkin. Just make sure you look on the side of the can and that it's pumpkin, not pumpkin pie mix, because you'll mess up. It'll be too runny. All right, and then I'm going to put a half of a tablespoon of, the recipe called for cinnamon, but I like pumpkin pie spice better, so I'm going to put that on over in there. And then the other thing, so I'm going to start it rolling, all right? And I love doing this in the food processor. I think she did it. The lady that I use a lot of her recipe is called Joy Filled Eats. Go and follow her, get her cookbook. She's got some amazing keto desserts. Now, what I forgot to tell you is I started with a pecan crust. So the crust is, and I did it in my food processor, is 2 cups of pecan and 2 tablespoons of butter. And I put a little bit of vanilla and a little bit of pumpkin spice, and you just let it run until it's ground up. And then I pressed it onto this springform pan, and then the other half I pressed into this casserole dish. All right, so I'm about to let it rip. It only takes, I mean, this is a Cuisinart food processor. I think it's the very best you can get. I had always gotten out that big old KitchenAid mixer and used it, but this, honestly, is done in just almost 45 seconds. All right, so now I'm going to add these 3 eggs right to the top. You kind of have to be careful with that so they go. Now the whole recipe, of course, has 6 eggs, so I'm going to stop it. Ooh, and I'm going to, that's his sweet, so here we go. And I'm going to put a little bit of vanilla. I don't know, my mama always had vanilla in everything. So just a capful. Okay. This is ready. blended up. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this casserole dish and I'm gonna just pour this right in there. And it cooks for about 40 minutes. And the way you can tell it's done is it's not really gonna jiggle in the middle, okay? It's just gonna be kind of firm. All right, and then what you do, I like to get all the goodness out. That's kind of what I like about this food processor. You could get all the goodness out. I'm looking at myself and seeing this headband thing I got going on. I saw somebody the other day, and when I had this on, and she said, you see, it's one of those accordion kind of things that we used to wear years ago. She said, oh my gosh, where did you get that? I used to wear those when I was in high school. I said, I got it at Walmart in the hair stuff, where the hair stuff is. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that right there, and I'm gonna stick it in the oven, and I'm gonna turn my timer on, and that will be delicious, okay? Now, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about sugar, about sweeteners, okay? Let me move some of these things out of the way. Yeah, okay. So, there are some good and acceptable keto sweeteners, okay? I don't know why I have this almond meal out here, or coconut flour. All right, so you've got monk fruit. That is a sweetener, and it's got erythritol. This actually has erythritol and a monk fruit extract, so it's made from a fruit, all right? And then I just sent out an email about sweeteners and the ones you need to avoid. And then this is Swerve, and it comes in confectioners, brown sugar, and regular sugar. And this also has, hold on a minute, has erythritol, 3 grams. But I want you to know that these sweeteners have carbs. They're not no carb, they're just low carb. So, and then here we go. This is a monk fruit keto. This is a maple flavored syrup. And let me just tell you, it's made from monk fruit. It has erythritol in it, but it only has 8 grams of carbs in 2 tablespoons, which is about as much as you would put on your pancakes, you know, maybe 3 tablespoons. So let's just say 8 grams. This, on the other hand, is pure Vermont maple syrup, and it has 27 grams of carbs in 2 tablespoons. So you can see there's definitely a significant difference in the amount of carbs you're going to get if you're using Swerve or this Lakanto sugar-free or monk fruit. So just want you to know that. Okay, so now what am I going to talk about now? All right, so if you want this recipe, I've already got it prepared in the email. It's going out in the morning at 7 o'clock. But here's the other thing. Excuse me, and let me get a towel here, because I like to lean on this and talk to you. Okay, the other thing I want to tell you about is I've got a 7-day jump start starting, really it's starting tomorrow, okay? And all you have to do, it's in a private Facebook group. All you have to do to get in is, I'm going to put a link below this, when I get through with this and post this, I'm going to put a link to the private Facebook group. It's called Get Healthy 7-Day Jumpstart to a Healthy You, or something like that. But anyway, you just click on that link. You'll have to answer a couple questions, give me your email, and you'll get in the group. And it opens tomorrow at noon, okay? It's 7 days just like you were in my challenge. I'm teaching you everything that I teach all my clients. You're going to have 7 days to get started towards your 30-pound weight loss, which is what most of my clients lose in the 90 days. So it's free. I want you to know everything you need to know. You know, people. The main reason I hear from people when I've helped over 600 people when they join my challenge is that they say I'm confused about what to do, or I'm addicted to sugar. Well, I'm going to explain all of that. I'm going to explain how to get started. You're going to know exactly what to do. You're not going to ever wonder again, what are you supposed to be eating? But you're going to have me as a coach for those first 7 days. And it's going to be fun. We're going to have some drawings. I do have a bonus for the first 20 people that get in the group. So I think today I had about 12 already join. So I hope you'll jump on in there, get that fast action bonus, and join. Okay, so but if you're not going to join the group, at least give me your email so you can get this recipe. And yeah, so you can get this recipe for this delicious, delicious, delicious. In fact, I think I'm going to have a bite of it. Oh my gosh. And you know what? That pecan crust just sets it off. It really does. Okay, so this recipe makes 12 slices, and there's 6 grams of carbs in each slice. So in my program, I teach you that we try to keep our carbs below 20. So you would count, if you ate a piece of that, that would be 6 grams of carbs. Now, we don't count anything else. We don't count calories. We don't count any of that. But you are going to need to keep an eye on your carbs. Okay, so I've told you all that. There'll be 3 questions, and one of those questions is your email, okay? All right, so tomorrow night, I'm going to be doing cauliflower, Instant Pot cauliflower soup. So join me right here tomorrow night at 8:15, and you'll get to see that. All right, so I wanted to teach you something before I left, all right? So vitamin D is one of the main indicators. And if you hadn't heard this, I'm like, why am I doing this again? Well, some people still hadn't got it. You're not taking your vitamin D. You're not getting your vitamin D. Your vitamin D deficient. 70% of Americans have vitamin D levels below 30. Below 30. And for you to be healthy and to fight off COVID, the best level is they determine is around 50, all right? So the only way to know if you're taking the right amount of vitamin D is to go get it checked, take your vitamin D, and then get it checked again. But really, if you get out in the sun every day, and we're about to move out of that stage where you can get it, if you get out in the sun, you get about 25,000 IUs just from 15 to 20 minutes in the sun. So if you're African American, it's going to require twice that amount of time for you to get that vitamin D. But if you take it, like I take 20,000 a day, so I'm not recommending how much you take because I'm not your doctor. But if yours is low, you're going to have to get more than 1,000 a day. I'm just going to tell you that. Okay, so what they have found that there was 0 mortality, that means 0 deaths with people that's vitamin D was in the 50 range, okay? So just want you to know that. Get yours checked and get it up if it's not up. That's a great way to boost your immunity to mortality from COVID. And isn't that what we're all afraid of, is dying from COVID now? And so get your vitamin D up. All right, so you know what to do. There's a link below that you can click to join the private Facebook group. It's free. And after that, everything I'll be teaching will be over in the private Facebook group. And so you don't want to miss it. I'm going to be talking a lot about health and nutrition and menopause even. I'm going to be talking about just your mind, body, and spirit. So don't forget to join me and hit the love button before you leave. And just let me know you're here. And if you want to hit that arrow, oh, I'm forgetting something. I'm forgetting the drawing. So hit that little arrow that'll let this video go out to your friends. You know what the little arrow is, where it says S-H-A-R-E. I'm not saying the word because I've heard that it keeps Facebook from playing your videos again. Yeah, hit the love button for me, all of y'all that are on here. I think there are about 10 of you on here. Okay, so Casey Statham won the supplement. So I'll be putting those in the mail to her tomorrow. Who won it today? Jeannie won it. So I put yours in the mail today, Jeannie. And so thank you for hitting that arrow and letting this information go out to more people, because people literally are dying to hear this health information. So y'all have a great night, and we'll talk soon.